Hey there, we are live, Ken. And I see that Charlene's here from Colorado, Lee from sunny Indiana. We had sun here today too, Lee. It's not real warm, but it's sunny. And we're right with you, sending out prayers for the southern states that are really going through an absolutely horrible, horrible time right now. And as quilters, Keepsake Quilting is collecting quilts to be sent down to the affected areas in North Carolina, and I think they said Tennessee. So if you're interested in donating anything to them, just get a hold of Keepsake Quilting and they'll tell you exactly what you need to do. I know those people have lost virtually everything. Linda, my Michigander buddy, is here, along with Linda from New York and Jean. Hi from Washington. And Ginger is in Florida. We were just talking about Florida. Ginger, I hope you're safe. Regina's here from the North Georgia mountains. And Jan O'Grady is here with beautiful fall weather in southeastern Nebraska. Hi, Linda from El Paso, Texas. Evelyn is here from Indiana. And Lois from Delaware. Kathy, good to see you. Okay, let's get started. We have a couple things we're going to talk about tonight, and one of them is the upcoming Zoom class for the Dream Big Poinsettia panel. Debbie from Arizona, welcome, welcome. And our kids that live down the block from you are here right now visiting. Rosella in Northern Virginia. I've got to say, Debbie, they welcome the cool weather. Rita, hi from Australia. So good to see you. So let's talk a little bit about this Dream Big Poinsettia panel class that we're going to have. This is the poinsettia panel. I'm just giving you a little bit of it, okay? Kind of a teaser sort of thing. Comes in three colors. This is the white color, and there is a pink and a red. And what I'm doing with mine, and I hope that you will want to do it as well, is I'm using some very nice specialty thread. And this specialty thread I do have in stock as well as the panels. And you'll see it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. And so it kind of gives a little bit of sparkles in there to delineate the petals from one another. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these petals and we're going to figure out how we want to quilt it. Now, in the class, information that I'm giving you the fabric supplies that aren't mostly needed, like quilt matting, a backing, things like that. And then I'm giving you some of the templates that we're looking at getting. The important thing is to have the template sampler set, the 12-inch arc, an 8-point crosshair marker, and spacing gauge. And quite honestly, I can't imagine anyone doing ruler quilting that doesn't already have those, right, ladies? I know we all do. I also set up for a suggestion for other templates to have with them. I want you to understand these are not written in stone because this is going to be more of a design class. It's not going to be, this is what I'm doing, follow me. This is what I'm doing, follow me. Okay. This is one that we're going to do some really cool things in. One of the things that I want to teach you how to do is how to go through and trace the pattern that we're going to be working on. For example, this particular petal shape. And then what I did was I took and tried out, I auditioned different templates until I find a look that I really, really wanted to use on it. And when I did, I knew exactly how to mark it and exactly how to stitch it. And here it is in progress. Isn't that cool? And of course, these lines are just, they're friction markers. They're going to come right off. So I think that is just an awesome way to kind of get an idea of what you want to do. Here I used a small spin effects. Here I used some of my curly cues. Yeah, everybody knows the curly cues is basically one of my favorite sets. What can I say, guys? I just love it. Now, the nice thing about this is it will be a Zoom class. Hi, Joyce. Good to see you. Glad you could make it from Fairfield, California tonight. Um, it being a Zoom class, it's going to be held so that we can interact together in real time. If you have a question, I'm going to be there to answer it. And you know what? Sometimes other students answer the questions better than I do. Other things that we're going to require, of course, are basics. You know, our marking pens that could be ironed off, our chalk liner, practice paper for drawing out, seam ripper, which I hope you'll never need. And tracing paper for this one is kind of an important thing because I do want us to be able to get that um, shape down onto a piece of paper that we can work with and erase and do it over again. Excuse me. Now, sometime in the past, what I did was I had a piece of acrylic, and then I used the whiteboard erase markers. And that worked okay. There's no doubt about it. It worked fine. The only problem was my hands usually were full of it, and I was scared I was going to be transferring those markers onto my fabric. So by using the tracing paper and using pencils, you don't transfer anything onto your fabric in fear of staining it. I don't want anyone to be intimidated by this class. Anyone can do this class, whether you are a beginner or a seasoned professional, you can do it. Our instruction for each class is going to be 4 hours long, and there also will be a 1 hour informational class before we get going. And I can give you some dates on those. Lee, I like your, yeah, Lee's got a real good point here. It's a very good point why to use the tracing paper. You know, as opposed to the acrylic, Lee, I really think it's cleaner. And it's easy enough to erase. Don't forget, we're going to need stitching line discs too for that. Okay. I am looking right now at Tuesday, October 22nd, and that will be an informational Zoom that we will do. And hopefully, everybody who has signed up for the class will be able to get together that day just so that we can get questions answered and anything that you're unsure of, we can go ahead and solidify for you. Hi, Gail, Wichita, Kansas. Very nice to see you. Now, the classes are going to be held on Fridays during the day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Time. And I am going to be having them for 3 weeks. We're going to start November 1st, November 8th, November 15th. Now, what that does is that leaves me open on the 22nd of November in case we decide we need that extra week. Of course, there'll be no additional cost for that. So we definitely are scheduled for 3 classes, and we can decide to do a 4th class. okay? I want to make sure that we have enough time to work through all of your questions, your concerns, and your ideas, most importantly. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again. I learn just as much from you all as you learn from me. Probably I learned more because there's more of you. Hi, Joyce is here from Mesa, Arizona. And Joyce, I am sure that it is a little bit warm out where you're at. In Glendale, it was 104 today. So you have to be very close to the same amount. So anyway, I want to let you know that this is on the university. It is ready for purchase. I do at 906quilting.com. I do have the panels. I do have the glamour threads in several different colors. I have gold, silver, red, and green, and that will work nicely with our panel. And you can see here a little bit. I don't know how much of the glittery thread you can see here. Now, if you have done the Dream Big panel, the first one, the Donna McCauley did, this panel, of course, is very similar. The difference between this panel and the one that the Dream Big panel that we did is this has fewer petals in it. Okay. They're a little bigger, but they're fewer. And I don't know about you, but I find the bigger ones to be more they just give us more room to play and more room to design. So that is where we are at with that. You also know if you have any questions whatsoever, my information, all my contact information is on sosteady.com on the education tab under instructors. Please feel free to give me a holler, ask me your questions, email, text, call, whichever way you're the most comfortable. Okay, Sandy has joined us from Massachusetts, and Gail is jumping over from Facebook. I can understand that, Gail. Okay, Linda Martindale says, she took Donna's Dream Big panel class and learned so much. This is a great way to get comfortable with your templates. Linda, that's a really good point. And you know what? It really is because when we're working in shapes like this, we're using our templates differently than an 8-point crosshair, 16-point crosshair, or a perfect square. Okay, so it gives us a lot of opportunities to learn how to use them in different ways. Jan, don't worry, we will have it recorded, yes. That is the other thing I probably should have mentioned is we do record the educational sessions and they will be yours for life. Jean is here also. Hi, Jean. So nice to see you.
From N. Is that North End or South End?
And ask Jean if you're from North End or South End. Let's see what Rita has to say. She agrees with Linda. She's almost finished hers, just has to bind it. Well, Rita, I want you to know you're further ahead on yours than I am on mine. Rita says she loves that she can work in her own time frame. And that's so important. It really is. And that's the reason why when I do a live Zoom class, I do record them so you can come back and look at them. Life gets in the way and sometimes we can't finish things as soon as we start them, but we can always come back to them. Okay, Kathy asked, how pink is the pink panel and is it good for cancer awareness? Kathy, yes, it is. It is a very pretty color pink. I wouldn't say it's bubblegum pink. It might be just a tad coral pink. But if you want to get a hold of me, we can get on here and I will I don't know how to do it on here, but I will be happy to share the pictures of it, or you can go to 906quilting.com and the pictures of the panels are there. They are on my website, so you can see them. Okay, Jean, that's from Newfield, New York. Thank you. Ken was worried. He thought maybe you weren't sure. Oh, so that's my little spiel tonight to tell you about the poinsettia panel. And I learned it is not poinsettia, it's poinsettia. There's no T on the point. So I think that we've all probably said it through the years, poinsettia. I know that's the way I've always pronounced it. Okay, tonight's templates. I just need to drag them out here, okay?
How pink is the pink
The pink panel is it's pink.
that he do he wants?
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's the picture of it is on my website, 906quilting.com. So, and it's a very realistic interpretation picture. It's not one that's changed a whole lot of color on it. Okay, tonight, what we are going to look at, and you guys wouldn't believe the mess I've got here. We are going to look at the serpentine. Now, I know that when we pulled it last week, we said Serpentine 3, but I thought to myself, well, that's kind of getting nitpicky. Let's talk about all the serpentines because there are several serpentines. Actually, there's like 7 of them, 2 on each of the rulers. This is Serpentine 3, and I don't have it in the small size. I have it in the large size. One of the reasons why is because I really like this longer edge right here. I think you guys probably are all aware that I love doing like the valances. Oh my gosh, the name just escaped me. It really did. Okay. I do like doing them, and this gives me a whole another look to them. So that's why I opted to get the longer Serpentine 3. So this has a 1 inch across the top and a 2 inch across the bottom. Okay. Kathy, how do you like the stable tape dots? You know, that's a really good question. Oh, hi, Diane. I didn't see you. Oh, thank you, Lee, for looking that up. Lee said she found the pink poinsettia on page 6. Regina, I do like the staple tape dots. What I like about them is I think they hide less of the markings on the templates. Okay, let me get this off of here. There we go. So you can see how with just having these little corners gone, it allows you a lot more visibility of the markings. The material that's used is exactly the same. Okay. They do need to be changed, just like the stable tape needs to be changed when you wear them out. And some of us really do wear them out. I know I've done it. It comes in a package of 36 or 72 dots. And this is, you could see I've got them both into one package here. They are really easy to pull apart, just like that. Okay. So they're not hard to get off of the dots. I do like them. I really do. And once my stable tape is gone, I will only be using the dots. but this is very much like the templates with the needle channel. I can't go and buy all new ones. So I will, use up what I have and then I'll go ahead and switch over, but I do like them. Oh, you're welcome. Suzanne, hi. So good to see you. Don't worry about being late. You can always look at it later. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. I'm going to be seeing you later this week too. Okay, so what you'll see here is look at these big, beautiful sloping curves. I absolutely love them. And if you look and hold them together, you can easily make from this would be the serpentine 7 and 8 and 1 and 2. If you put these 2 together, actually there's going to be 4, but if you would do them all 4, you can make the most beautiful bow ever that you've seen. If there's time, we can do that tonight. All right. These do come in sets, so you can purchase them this way. Now, we're going to get this out and take a look at this first. And you probably are wondering to yourself, why do I have a 16-point rotation when I'm doing a straight line template? Well, it's because I always have to try things in a different way. So I'm going to show you what I tried and how it turned out, and I am so pleased with it. So let me go ahead and get set up here. Let me get rid of that. So what I'm going to do, I don't need this. I do not need the pin. The pin was there from a different project that I didn't get to last week. We had such a good time last week, didn't we? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to put my foot in the center. Set my foot height. Last time I didn't do that. Boy, was I sorry. I'm going to move you up just a little bit here. Get you over the top. Pull up my bobbin thread in the center and put my foot down. Okay. I'm not going to use all 16 rotations. I'm only going to use 8. And what I'm going to do, 1, 2, and I'm going to come up this many. Now, what I'm doing is I am lining up. Here's the center of the divot or the well. Okay. Here's the hill. We'll call it valley hill.
Peaks and valleys.
Peaks and valleys, Ken said. So I think that's that's good. Here's the peak, here's the valley. Make sure you've got your staple tape next to your fabric. I was just about to do it wrong again. Okay, and then I would be complaining at myself because I did that. I am going to line my foot up in the valley. When I do that, and I love these markings because you have a 1/4 inch is dashed, a 1/2 inch is solid, 3/4 is dashed, 1 inch is solid. And so this is the 1 inch that we're talking about from here to here. I'm sorry, from here to here. We are right now at 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, no, we're at 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 of an inch. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you how we're going to do this. I am lining up this dashed line, take my 1 stitch in place. And what you're going to notice is I've got staple tape down the center of this template. When I was working with this template the last time, I noticed that when my hands were in this area, I was slipping all over the place. So now that I've got that stable tape in there, I'm just fine. How about one more? And I'm going to stop when I get to the valley right here. Okay, I'm on the line. So now what you see that we've got there, I'm going to go ahead and cut this thread and get it out of the way. Kind of a cool little design. Pretty nondescript at this moment. It will get better. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to flip my template. So I am going to line it up right here with my foot is right on the valley. It's right in the valley. I'm going to line my template up on the dashed line, the same as I did on the other side. And remember, I do like to hold my template on both sides so that I'm not pushing too hard this way. And I'm holding it with both hands so I can't push it that way. We also have another area that we can check our alignment, and that is going to be this line ending in this valley. So we're going to be on this dashed line here and this solid line. Okay, so make sure I'm all lined up. And here we go. Now, I got to tell you guys, whoops, let me put you back. I got to be honest with you, this so reminded me of the 60s. And when you see it, you're going to know exactly what I'm saying. Because in the 60s, this particular design seemed to be everywhere. And here we go back to center. Now, if you wanted, you could keep going back and forth with this design and go in edge to edge, either horizontally or vertically. It would work both ways. Hi, Patsy, you snuck in on me. Sue, you're here too. How nice to see you. It's 12 after midnight. Goodness, that's awfully late. Okay, so what we could do to make life easy is we could go ahead and do this area as well. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And I'm going to come down and keep on moving. And keep everything nice and smoothly lined up. Now remember, we're going to always come back to our center. And when we do come back to our center each time, what that's going to do is that's going to knot or hold that center stitch in place so we do not have to bury that stitch. Okay. I don't know if I've told you or not, but I am reaching over the top of the camera boom, and so it kind of sometimes makes it look like I'm kind of going all cattywampus. At least I think it feels that way. Okay, so here we go. Now, another thing you might notice is that in a couple of spaces there, I had a skipped stitch. And the reason that that happened is I am just right on the cusp of being too high with my foot. And when it gets that way, if I go fast, it will skip a stitch. Okay, so there we go. Nice and easy. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're not going to go all the way around. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. We're going to line this up exactly the same. And off we're going to go. Remember that when we do curves like this, that we do really want to try and keep those stitches just a little bit shorter. Okay. You see the pattern starting to develop here? Isn't it cool? I love this. Absolutely love this. Who said straight lines or wiggly lines can't be used in a rotational manner? Okay. Make sure I stay lined up down here. If you have to smush or stretch or just kind of maneuver your fabric a little bit, go right ahead and do that. It's not going to hurt anything. The important thing is remember not to push with your foot against the template and don't push the template against your foot. You want them to be static, the template to be static, and the foot to just move freely around it. So there's the next one. Okay, there, let's turn it so we can get the next one going. Isn't this fun? This is really turning out to be something cool. Christina, hi, so nice to see you. Cindy's here too. Hi, Cindy. Okay, let me go ahead and just, I know, isn't that cool? I love this. 1, 2, 3. I count every time. I want to make sure I'm doing the right numbers. And it's a good idea too to make sure that your lines are lined up way back here. Okay. Because if they're lined up back here, they have to be lined up here, which is where you want them lined up. Okay, so here we go. Now, when I was testing this out, all I could think of, whoops, it came off the tip a little bit, and I don't think that's really going to matter in the grand scheme of things. But when I was doing this, testing it out, I thought to myself, there are some really, really awesome template opportunities here, and I will be doing it. Okay. Swag is the word I was trying to think of before, guys. The curtain swag. Oh, at least it wasn't 2 a.m. when I remembered it. That's usually how it happens. Okay, I need to move this cord. There we go. Now it won't interfere so much with the camera. Okay. Lining up again. You really want to take a little bit of time and make sure that you're lined up properly. That's just going to make everything look so much cleaner. I think Leonie West would be happy to see that we're using these templates in this manner. I always said I would love to spend a day in her brain. She is such an intelligent woman and so talented. Are we seeing this coming together? Metal yellow, first red. Oh, Suzanne said it looks like different shaped honeycombs. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Sandy, I'm not really sure. Metal yellow, first red. I'm not sure what exactly that means. So, okay. So here we go. This will be the last one. And we're gonna just make nice, smooth curves coming around. There we go. One more. There we go. And I'm loving this. I am really loving this. I'm thinking I'm gonna probably wanna use this on my poinsettia panel too, because there are some larger, petals on there that this would actually look gorgeous on. A little bit of adjusting with my fabric, no worries. Remember that as we stitch, our fabric does tend to draw up. And so we need to be cognizant of that as we're stitching if we need to make any adjustments on it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. And this will be the last one, but look at that. I know it's only half, but I think it gives you a really good idea of what exactly this is going to look like when it's stitched out in its entirety. Let me pull you back just a little bit. Awesome. Awesome. I really like it. I love what happens in here. Look at how round those shapes are and how perfect they are. You would never guess that this is being done with the template on either side of that line. And once we dis dissipate those lines, it's going to be even more beautiful yet. So that is our first trial there with our serpentine number 3. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make some straight lines here. All I need to do is find a ruler to do that with. You would think I'm a quilter, I have a ruler, right? Oh, Pam, hello from Maine. Oh, every time I see the Maine or see you come in, I think of lobster. Ugh, Maine lobster is the best. Absolutely best. Had it once in my life, and I will never forget the taste of it. I went for my girlfriend's wedding, and that's what we had for dinner the night before. Absolutely wonderful. She converted me into a fish lover while I was out there. Fresh fish is amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna make another one 2.5 inches apart. Okay. And we're just gonna see how this is gonna work. This particular this particular design I had in my head. However, I didn't take the time to test it out first. So we're gonna determine together whether this is going to work or not. I think it will. Okay. So again, I'm using the Serpentine 3, but this time I'm using the 2 inch. And I'm going to back it up so that right here is where my stitching will end. This is 1/4 inch from the template to where the needle is. Okay. We don't have to do a whole lot of these, just do a few, see how it's gonna look. I think it'll be cool. Oh, one other thing I wanted to do. Eh, if I had a brain, I'd be dangerous. Okay, here we go. I definitely want to come up like this. I just want to make sure that I have a nice square. And remember, when we have a corner, we want 90 degrees square, 90-degree corner right there. Okay. Now, the reason that I did that was because I wanted to make sure that I had a clearly delineated jumping off point. And I've got one now. And that's going to make sense as we work through this one. And then I want to go ahead and do that bow for you. Okay. I'm going to start in the valley. I'm going to line up my straight line with the 1/4 inch line here. Well, Kate, hi, it's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it very much. Kate, didn't you just got back from Nashville, correct? I just can't imagine how much fun it would be to be in Nashville. Oh my goodness. Although we did spend a week there one night, didn't we, Ken? We got caught in an ice storm on the way home from Florida. Okay, so here we go. Up and around. Take your time. Remember, it's not a race. There we go. Get my arm a little better situated. Up we go. This is a really nice, deep valley that we're going in. And I love these templates. Now, Kate's templates, her favorites are the back to back. And these are similar, but different, of course. But they work a lot in the same manner, right? Okay, up we're gonna go. Let's go ahead and trim that thread. And now I'm going to just turn this around. I want to make sure you can see it well. There we go. Needed to do a little bit of, now I'm going to come to this line is 2.5 inches from this line. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to line up the hills and the valleys opposite. Okay. So, well, that's not opposite. This is opposite. Am I using the right one here? I am. I'm just not. Okay. This one is the same. So this one is opposite. And this should give us kind of a really interesting look. But when I look at this, I'm thinking I would like it better if it was lined up in this manner. What do you think? I'm thinking the second way. What do you guys think? Should we go for it? Okay, let's do that. Okay. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I'm using a different microphone. Regina, okay, good. Regina says yes, use two. The microphone I usually use took a powder tonight. So I have a different one on. I think it's working okay. Make sure. There we go. Okay, we're lined up. And
What do you look?
Again, this one would be a really, really awesome template opportunity. So here we go. And I'm just gonna get that out of the way. And nice and steady around those curves. The inside curves are a whole lot easier than those outside curves, aren't they? But the key to it is just stay steady. Stay nice and steady. Yeah, there we go. This is what I was thinking right here. It's giving us really two different shapes, which I think is awesome. And we're going to come down here. And this is going to bring us right back to the ending point. Okay, what do you guys think? Okay, good. Thank you so much, guys, for letting me know. Isn't that cool? Okay, so I would do one more thing to this, and I'm not even going to break the thread here. I'm going to take my 12-inch arc and I am going to just take my spacing gauge and go around it. Okay, and there's a reason for that because if I go around this, if this is just one area of stitching that I am in, what's going to happen is it's going to give me more opportunities for template or drawing, whichever you prefer. And just a little bit here. There is our valley. We're going to hit that valley. Now we should, ideally, we should be able to come up here and it will be a straight line between the two. I think we did it, guys. I really do. Yeah. You know where I could see this? I could see this design around the hem of a little girl's dress with cutouts, template cutouts for her. Wouldn't that be adorable? This would also make an absolutely great border. Of course, I need to figure out how to turn that border, but we can do it. We're quilters. We can do just about anything we try, right? This would look really nice too if you just did the edge to edge and used a cornerstone for your border of maybe a small spinifex or some circles. Just do some circles to mimic the circles in the design. That would be lovely. Okay, and one more, and then we've got this one. And there we go. What do you think? Isn't that nice? You know, there's so many things. These back-to-backs and serpentines are so diverse and versatile. Just beautiful. Thank you. You guys awesome. Rita, you're absolutely right. Rita said that it would be really nice on a wide sashing as well, and you are right. I'm thinking templing here or templing here. Do the negative space differently. And that's just a great idea. Okay, I promised the bow. Let's do the bow. Okay. I have another piece of fabric here. I have the serpentine rulers here. I have a straight edge here, which is all we need. Okay, here we go. Doesn't matter where I draw it. We're just going to draw it. Okay. And there we go. Now that's the hard part. Okay, I'm just kidding. You all know that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to start this um, so that we have a half of an inch in the center. No, actually, let's do more than that. Let's do more like 1 inch in the center. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come and do this side. I'm going to stop right there, come up. No, I'm going to do this side first. Let's just do one side first. And I'm going to start on the outside corner. I think what else I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put that crosshair in there only because I really think it's going to help us to see exactly what it is we're doing. And you all know I like to see things. This distance from here to here and from here to here are the same. Okay. So all of these distances from the center to the outside vertical line is going to be the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to draw that up on the horizontal line. Even though I have it in a vertical orientation, I'm thinking it's going to be easier. There we go. Easier to stitch that way. And beautiful, easy curve to stitch. Take my stitch in place. And then we can go ahead and get rid of that. Remember, take your time. Don't try to hurry through the process. I think to me, the process is probably more fun than the end result, although I really like seeing the end result. Okay, so now we've come and gotten our first half. And now I'm going to keep it on the same line, but I'm going to flip the template. And now I'm going to stitch down, touch that template. I'm going to turn it so that you can see it better. Hi, Nancy. So glad you made it in. Okay, so here we go. Now this particular side, we're going to actually be traveling. You see when we get to the center here, we're traveling on on the first line. That's okay. It's perfectly fine. And there we go. And we're going to stop. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and close this. So I'm just going to come up and come back down. Okay. So you see what I've done is I've closed this side just like that side. Okay, now we're going to come in with the smaller template. And again, what you're going to see is that we are going to end up right at the same spot. We're going to be traveling over the same one. Now, this one, and I know you guys can do this little bit of free motion traveling. It's just not very far. And there we go. Easy peasy, right? This is such a beautiful, just gentle arc and a pleasure to stitch. It really is. Up we go, and we'll stop at that line. Now you could go further in that line too, come out a little way, and that would give it a nice little kind of a boost, so to speak. In we go. We're going to stop right here. Now we're going to turn this template over. And again, right in here, we're going to travel, but we want to get there first. So we'll come down. Easy to do. There we go. See, I knew you guys could do this. Okay, in we go. And there's our travel point. And we're going to come back out and stop at our line. We want to close this too. Okay. I want to make sure I didn't go way too far. I think I'm okay, but oh, good. I did okay. And come back up. Now, what we want to do is we want to get to the other side, and we want to make sure that we stitch to the other side because this is going to be a bow. So this is going to be a fabric bow. And what we want to do is we want to stitch, and we can go a little further than we have to, and that's going to be okay. But if we hold the template right here on the line that we're going to be stitching on, let me do it um, with the tape down, the staple tape down, otherwise it'll flip all over on this. So what it means is we're going to be stopping a little bit above here, about a quarter of an inch. So we can move that template up just a little bit, a quarter of an inch, and we can go ahead and stitch that in. There we go. Now, this is going to be about, okay? This isn't ironclad. And one thing I want you to see is because of my short throat, I actually ended up hitting this throat in here. But that's not a problem because I just moved it back towards me a little bit and it's fine. Now we're going to see how far we need to go. Okay, so I need to go just a little bit further, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hold it like this. There we go. And we'll get there. Take your time. Well, I went a little too far. Is that going to matter? No, it's not, because we're going to be coming back and traveling up here too. So that's when we will close the other side and it'll be fine. Okay. So I'm just going to take that one stitch back to the template. This is a nice size bow. This isn't going to be real tiny, that's for sure. Okay. So now we're going to stitch up, and we have our lines here that we can use. A little bit more. Oh, perfect. I never get that perfect. You guys must be good luck for me. Okay, so there we go. We're going to come down again. And again, on this side, we're going to be traveling. If you're worried about it, go ahead and slow down just a little bit. You'll be fine. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to close this area up like we did on the other side. And we're going to come out. Now, this one's going to be a little bit more of a space than the first one is. Let's go ahead and get our next template. Well, goodness, look at that. I've got just about an eighth of a stitch to go, and that's all. And I am going to, well, let me turn it this way because I want you to see it. And go ahead and move that back. And then we'll just have one more to go, and I'll show you how we're going to go in and make the center of our bow. Come up a little more. And there we go. Now we want to close this. Again, if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. Because I know for myself, I know I am not perfect. I'll go up another stitches too. There we go. That's just right. And we're going to travel on that line again. I'm just going to move my hands a little bit, make it a little easier to move. Up we go. Well, you're not going to believe this. I checked that bobbin to make sure I had enough. I was wrong. Okay, let me slip one in there real quick. Almost enough. Almost enough. This'll do it. Yeah. And this machine doesn't tell me when I'm getting home. This machine doesn't tell me anything. That's okay. I really like this machine. So did Ken before I stole it from him, right, honey? I don't think she's ever going to forgive me for that one.
Community property.
Community property, yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, there, that wasn't so bad. And we're just going to go ahead and draw that bobbin thread back up right where we left off. This is why it's nice to practice. If we have little glitches, it's okay. Yeah, it works just fine. There we go. Mm, hold those threads back so we don't get a mess. And that's the fourth one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close this one. And if you want, you could go all the way down. Now, another thing you could do is you could come down here with kind of an arc if you'd like, and that could make it look like the fabric is coming around the bow as well. But we're just doing a simple one now, okay? So now I'm going to come back here and I'm going to close this side. Easy. There we go. Use my spacing gauge. Perfect. And there we've got that part done. Okay. So is it looking like a bow yet, guys? You thinking? Jan says she likes this for a border. This would make a nice border. Okay. So now when we have bows, these two pieces or this one piece of fabric tends to be bowed in a little bit. So we've got several ways of doing it. One, we can do it with our 12-inch arc. We could do it with our 4-inch arc. We could do it with our 3-inch clamshell. Boy, there's a whole lot of ways that we could do this. I have my 12-inch arc handy, so that's what I'm going to use. That just like that. I'm going to line up my horizontal line here. Take my one stitch in place and off we go. It's a very gentle curve, but it's a curve. Now I'm just going to travel over. I know that this is free motion, but you can do this. It's not difficult. Okay. I may have gone just a little too far. Yep. I'm going to back it up a few stitches. There we go. Again, I'm aligning my horizontal line up and up we're going to come on here. And there is our bow. Now, and if we wanted to, we could easily make streamers coming out of it as well, just simply by going in this direction. Let's do it this way because you'll be able to see it better. Okay, so I'm going to come out here. Doesn't matter where you start, whatever you think looks good. Okay, I'm going to come out here. And then we're going to come up this way just a few stitches. And we're going to come back down this way a few stitches. Yep. And going to come back this way a few stitches. Well, actually, I think I'm going to come back in this direction. Yeah. And there's one of our ribbons. Come this way. I guess I should have come out from here. That's how we learn. There we go. And we'll come back in this way. There we go. Okay, if I were to do it again, I would bring these two pretend pieces of fabric together and come out this way. I think that would look a lot better. But this is why we practice, right? So, yeah, and come out here and that way. There's our bow. Oh, Suzanne, thank you. Carla, yes, definitely. We definitely have these uh, these lives are recorded, so you can watch them over again. So that is what I've got for you tonight, and Ken is over here showing me what we're going to work with next time. Are you guys ready? We're going to do the Spinifex 3 next time, one of my favorite Spinifex. I love Spinifex. I really do. So that is what I have for you tonight. I hope you'll consider the Dream Big Poinsettia Panel class. It is a Zoom class. I love doing Zoom classes. I love the interaction and being able to talk with you and hear your questions and answer them in real time. That is always a benefit. And don't forget, they are recorded so that you will have them forever. In the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Sue. Regina, thank you as well. And Joyce, we'll see you in the morning. Jana, hi, I didn't see you sneak in. Oh, so if you don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and end it for tonight. And like I say, let's quilt.